Hey, what's going on? Fear the Walking Dead fans. It's Campfire Nate here to talk about Season 2, Episode 5. And you know what? There's no better way to start off the apocalypse with some Patsy Cline. Okay? There's some music that just makes you think of the apocalypse, and Patsy Cline's music really does. I don't know why. But I love the entrance. We got to finally kind of get an idea what's going on. We realized that Alicia and Travis are basically in like a port, and they're on a big ship. They got a couple other ships there in a little harbor there, and they're pretty locked down. So it's getting really interesting to see. These other people apparently were ready to go dive full-fledged into the apocalypse, as far as let's bait other people in, let's steal their stuff. They're ready to go. So our group's a little behind the eight ball when it comes to how these guys do stuff, but. Moving on to number 2, and that is that Daniel and Madison kind of come up with a plan that they're going to rescue their people. Okay, they got Connor's brother Reed, and they're like, okay, we're not quite sure how, but I think we're just going to go up there and just kind of play it by ear. The guy that Nick rescued's like, no, we got to get to Mexico. We only got a little bit of time, and the person that kind of stands up for him was Strand, which I thought was kind of cool. Strand was like, listen, you guys got half a day to do this. Go do it, and I like that finally that Strand is not the one who's like, we don't have time. Like, Strand actually was like, hey, you know what, you did kind of save my life, so I'm going to cut you a little slack there. So Strand's kind of interesting because this is the first moment you kind of see some compassion from him, which is kind of nice because up to this point you really haven't. But moving on to a number 3 moment, Travis is kind of capturing, realizes that it wasn't Alicia talking over the radio that really truly kind of let these people know about the Abigail. It was Alex. And you say, who the heck is Alex? Well, Alex was a survivor of the flight that we, spent so much time with. And then she finally showed up just to leave in that episode. Guess what? She's back, and she explains that they found her. Her friend died. She had to kill him. Yeah, it's kind of looking like some hardcore revenge, villain creation going on here with Alex. You can't help from thinking, man, is she going to be a villain? Is she going to be dead set on getting these people? But you had this kind of moment where Travis is like, listen, I understand I had to kill, the mother of my son. I did the same thing that you had to do. What's going on with us? They kind of had this moment where you're not entirely sure. You can kind of see it going both ways. Maybe Alex gets okay, maybe you guys aren't so bad after I thought. We've all been bad situations, and maybe she eventually joins the group, or maybe not. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm excited to find out. Moving on to number 4, and that is that Madison makes the plans to trade with Connor. Okay, she gets on the radio, so listen, I'm going to give you Reed, you give me Travis, you give me Alicia. And of course, none other than Crazy Chris screws that up. And that's because he shoots Reed, shoots him in the face, and they come down there, and of course he says, oh, he was going to turn. Okay, Chris, okay, and there's this weird moment where he's like talking with Madison, and he's like, I did the right thing, right? Like, he's just getting really, really creepy, and I'm like, dude, first I was thinking Chris was going to go completely the other direction. Now this guy's going into psycho land, like, I don't know what's going on with Chris, but I don't know, man. I have a feeling he's going to wind up doing something really stupid soon. But, you kind of notice that when they get over there and Reed turns. He turns into a walker. So not only did he not shoot him in a place that was going to actually keep him from becoming a walker, he shoots him in the face. So it kills him, but it doesn't actually penetrate the brain. He comes back, so that proves the point that he wasn't about to turn. He's just freaking out about the idea of it. Or he just got pissed because the guy was being a douche and he shot him. Either way, Chris is kind of he's killing people a lot lately. So you're kind of wondering what's going on with Chris. He can't shoot. He couldn't shoot those people when they were coming over, but he's managed to kill 2 people now that were kind of weak, and that's kind of making you worry that something's wrong with him. But moving on to the next thing, and that is that they basically, Daniel sees him come back alive. And it's interesting when he stabs him up against the wall, and he's looking there, and he's like, ooh, and he's kind of coming at him. I kind of got this feeling that maybe Daniel was just also trying to kind of get an idea of one of these walkers up close to kind of see how they work. But at the same time, coming up with the plan, okay, I know what we're going to do. We're going to tie this guy up. And I knew exactly what they were thinking. I mean, it wasn't that hard. But okay, we're going to use him. We're going to trade him, but we're going to put a thing over his head and kind of trade and everything. So that's the plan. Moving on to my final moment, and that's what they do. They basically take Reed over there. They have Travis, and they have 3 guys, and one of them including Connor. They send him over. They pull it off. They reveal that he's still alive. And, of course, he bites them, man. I mean, come on. I don't know about you, but if someone's coming at me, even with a hood on, and I hear the, voices, I'm going to be like, I'm not pulling that hood off. But, again, that's kind of the point, is that these people don't know what this is like. We know because we've been watching these shows. So it's kind of interesting to see. But the old zombie trickery there works again. He attacks. He gets a couple of them. I did see Connor die. I saw Connor get bit on the arm. But we all know that arms can be cut off. So I'm not entirely sure if Connor got bit there and he died or not. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again. But they get Travis. They realize Alicia's way up at the top. She's talking to, I think his name's Jake. Jake's kind of this weird, like, hey, listen, I really cared about you kind of thing. And I'm kind of like, I forget the feeling that Alicia's like, I might kind of care about you, but at the same time, you kind of put me in this crappy position. I don't entirely trust you. So she bails out. And they get her and head back to the boat. And that's where it ends. But it also leaves you wondering what's going on with Jake. Is he possibly now in this like crazy stalker mode where he really has to get Alicia back? What's going on with Alex? What's going on with this group? Do we just witness the creation of some really bad people? Are these people going to come back to bite our group in the butt later? I don't know. But overall, I thought this episode was pretty good. This show is getting really good. I'm really starting to like how they're slowly starting to develop the characters a little bit. I thought there was a really good scene where Strand was talking to Daniel, like, why are you helping them get them back? And he's like, why are you helping them? And it was interesting because in the end, they both had nothing at stake in rescuing Travis and Alicia, but they have chosen to. So that means that they're finally starting to come together kind of as a family and as a group to protect each other, which is cool. But overall, that's it. That's all the moments for this episode. If I missed something and you really liked it and you want to talk about it, leave me a comment. If there's anything else you had about this episode you want to talk about, leave me a comment, let me know. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. And until next time, see you later.